Hello children, it's Dr. Wheeler. Good to see you again. I got a beautiful day here. I hope it's a beautiful day for you today also. Hope you're having fun in school, learning a lot. I'm going to try to read you two stories, fairly short stories, and they're both, the types of stories, they're both called fables. Do you know what a fable is? Well, a fable is a story that typically uses animals to teach human beings like you and me a lesson. How about that? Let's see what we can learn from these today. They're both written by an author, Leo Leone. This first one is called It's Mine. It's Mine. And it is a story about three frogs who live in a pond. In the middle of a rainbow pond, there was a small island. Smooth pebbles lined its beaches, and it was covered with ferns and leafy weeds. On the island lived three quarrelsome frogs. Quarrelsome. That means they're fighting, arguing all the time. Their names were Milton, Rupert, and Lydia. They quarreled and quibbled from dawn to dusk. "Stay out of the pond," yelled Milton. "The water is mine." "Get off the island," shouted Rupert. "The earth is mine." "The air is mine," screamed Lydia as she leaped to catch a butterfly, and so it went, day in and day out. One day, a large toad appeared before them. "I live on the other side of the island," he said. "But I can hear you shouting, 'It's mine, it's mine, it's mine,' all day long. There's no peace because of your endless bickering. You can't go on like this." And with that, the toad slowly turned around and hopped away through the weeds. No sooner had he left than Milton ran off with a large worm. The others hopped after him. "Worms are for everybody," they cried. But Milton croaked defiantly, "Not this one, it's mine." Suddenly, the sky darkened, and a rumble of distant thunder circled the island. Rain filled the air, and the water turned to mud. The island grew smaller and smaller as it was swallowed up by the rising flood. The frogs were scared. Desperately, they clung to the few slippery stones that still rose above the wild, dark water, but soon these too began to disappear. There was only one rock left, and there the frogs huddled, trembling from cold and fright, but they felt better now that they were together, sharing the same fears and hopes. Little by little, the flood subsided. The rain fell gently and then stopped altogether. together. But look, the large rock that had saved them was no rock at all. "You saved us!" shouted the frogs when they recognized the toad. The next morning, the water had cleared. Sun rays chased silver minnows on the sandy bottom of the pond, and joyfully the frogs jumped in, and side by side they swam all around the island. Together they leaped after the swarms of butterflies that filled the air. And later, when they rested in the weeds, they felt happy in a way they had never been before. "Isn't it peaceful?" said Milton. "And isn't it beautiful?" said Rupert. "And do you know what else?" said Lydia. "No, what?" the others asked. It's ours," she said. The end. So, Leone uses frogs to tell us as to how we should get along together and share. This will be an interesting thing for y'all to talk about, I think. Okay, let's get on to our second fable by Leo Leone. And this one is called A Color of His Own. A Color of His Own. And it is about this animal. You know what that is? That is a reptile, a lizard, known as a chameleon. Parrots are, that's right, green. Goldfish are red. Elephants are gray. Pigs are pink. All animals have a color of their own, except for chameleons. Yellow, green, blue, pink. They change color wherever they go. On lemons, they are yellow. In the heather, they are purple. On the tiger, they are striped like tigers. One day, a chameleon who was sitting on a tiger's tail said to himself, "If I remain on a leaf, I shall be green forever, and so I too will have a color of my own." With this, thought he, cheerfully climbed onto the greenest leaf. But in the autumn, the leaf turned yellow, and so did the chameleon. Later, the leaf turned red, and the chameleon turned red too. And then the winter winds blew the leaf from the branch, and with it, the chameleon. The chameleon was black in the long winter night. But when spring came, he walked out into the green grass, and there he met another chameleon. He told his sad story. "Won't we ever have a color of our own?" he asked. "I'm afraid not," said the other chameleon, who was older and wiser. "But," he added, "why don't we stay together? We will still change color wherever we go, but you and I will always be alike." And so they remained side by side. They were green together, and purple together, and yellow together, and red with white polka dots, and they lived happily ever after. The end. So, a color of his own. What do you think is more important? Having a color of your own, which is what the chameleon thought would make him happy, or friendship? And with the frogs, what do you think was most important? Having the land to yourself, having the pond to yourself, having the air to yourself, or sharing all of that together and having friends? Both of these stories, these fables, teach us about the importance of friendship and sharing. Okay, y'all might want to talk about these stories a little bit. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.